Hey guys, how you doing? It's Alex coming at you with another dating channel story. Today I'm going to give you guys an update on a girl that I used to call Turkey Baster Girl. Turkey Baster Girl was a girl that I met, I want to say 3 to 5 years ago. It's kind of hazy, but I remember the date very, very well. The date was actually interesting because number one, she was late to the date. And if anybody knows me personally, they know that punctuality is probably more important than anything ever to me. My time is valuable, your time is valuable. So if we agree on a time, if you are more than 15 minutes late, I think you're selfish and not really are aware of people's priorities and time. So you are disrespectful, in my opinion. So I remember that when I got this girl to go on a date with me, I felt lucky because she was so attractive. Guys, I'm telling you, 5'8", just voluptuous, American girl, which is, sorry, it's like the holy grail. An American girl with a big butt, big legs, and she just happened to have ample bosom. It was actually insanely attractive, and I said, okay, play it cool. Let's see how this goes. So at the date, she was late, but whatever. The date is happening. We're having an okay time, not a great time. It was a coffee date. It was easy peasy. And in that date, she expressed her desire to have a child more than anything. More than anything. And that's when I started realizing that a lot of women in that age range, their priorities are to have children. Now, it's no fault of their own. I think it's natural and it is a ingrained thing in your genetic code to want to procreate. I totally get it. But I made myself very clear on either the dating site or subsequent conversations that kids are not something I want to have. It's just not something that's in my future. If you already have kids and I meet you, I will gladly accept them. I just don't want to have any of my own. It's just not what I want. I'm very clear about that. So on the date, we started talking about that subject matter and why do you want to have kids? She did not have a good job. She has never had a long-term relationship. So if I was going to consider having a child with this person, I would have liked to have had to at least prefer to listen to the fact that she had been in a long-term relationship or she's sweet, caring, feminine. No, she was trying to be Miss Alpha, but then tell me in order for you to go on another date with me, you're going to have to consider having a child. And I said, well, no, that's a no-go. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Let's say if you don't find a guy that you find suitable to have a child with, what will you do? And she literally said, I will turkey baster myself. You know what a turkey baster is? AKA, IVF, but she was saying it in, let's just say, more colorful terms. She said, I'll turkey baster myself and I'll just get pregnant and I'll have a kid. Regardless of what happens, I'm gonna have a kid. Right then and there, I thought this person was psycho. Like, you can't, in my opinion, I understand women wanting the desire to have children, but I don't understand the irresponsible nature of some women that they want to have a kid regardless of their partner. I think that's crazy. I think you should know how to be in a relationship first, establish a relationship, go through the ups and downs of having a relationship, and then if you guys want to have a child, I would understand it. If you're in love, so the child comes into a loving home. But no, modern dating, women want what they want. And a child is what she wanted more than anything. So I thought to myself, well, this is gonna go nowhere. So I subsequently let her know, not that night, that I'm not interested in pursuing anything with her and I'm good and see you later. Which she reacted kind of volatile. She was like, what? You don't wanna go out with me? As if to say, you think you're such hot shit, you're rejecting me? I'm like, I wasn't rejecting you as a person, I'm rejecting your thought process. So fast forward. And one great thing about me is I have this weird recall. Maybe you guys are like me. Where sometimes when you see the person again, it's like flashbacks happen in your head of the moment you saw her last. And I was like, hey, that's Turkey Baster Girl. That's the girl that said she wanted to have a kid no matter what. I wonder why she's on a dating site. Interesting. So of course, on the dating site, you see their information. And it says, have children. Oh, she was able to achieve a relationship, had a child. So now I want to know, the details of that relationship. I am a stickler for details on relationships. I want to know about your past. And again, not intimate details. I just want to know your history. I want to know what your thought process is. So I said, let me try to match with her and see what happens. So I swiped right, whatever. All of a sudden, boom, like within 15 to 20 minutes, she matched with me. And I was like, interesting. Here we go. So she reaches out, she goes, hey, long time no see. I'm like, oh, you remember me? She says, yes. Last time we talked, it was over 4 years ago. I said, oh, interesting. How have you been? I noticed that you have a child. Congratulations. And she says, yes, I'm blessed. Whatever the hell that means. Blessed, whatever. Like, I get it. You're happy you have a child, but to say you're blessed, it just leads down a weird road to me. So I said, interesting. Well, tell me about, what you've been up to the last 4 years or so. And this is where the story gets so good. It's kind of on the sad side. So this is what she told me. She goes, well, the guy that I had a kid with didn't want anything to do with the kid after it was born. So I'm not going to go into details or ask her to go into details as to, did you notice he was a little elusive? Was he weird? How did you guys meet? Was he giving you signals or signs of being a dad, and all of a sudden when the kid was around, like, I'm sure you must have talked about it? Or did you just forget to get the pill that month? Did you do a oopsie moment and all of a sudden the kid is out, and because you wanted a kid more than anything, nothing else mattered? Again, guys, this woman said she was willing to turkey baster herself, you know what that means, to have a child. So that thought process to me means I don't care what the guy's like, as long as he maybe meets a certain criteria, certain height, certain features. I don't care about anything else. To me, there's something wrong. There's something wrong up here. So according to her, he didn't really have an interest in raising the child with her. And according to her, he cheated on her the whole relationship, and she realized that he had another baby within like months of each other with another woman. And I was like, I wanted to smile, but I felt sad. Not for her, for the kid. See, a lot of us don't know our parents' history. And a lot of us, if we knew our parents' history, we would cast some crazy judgment on these parents and what they do in order to bring you into this world. So imagine this child growing up without a father, potentially, knowing that they have a half sibling somewhere around the same age. Like, that's my brother. He's 4 months younger than me. Like, what? How did that work? Well, it's my half brother, and my dad cheated on my mom with. I'm like, so when I hear those stories, because I'm out there dating, I feel sad because there is no cohesive family unit anymore. It is not a thing anymore to have a mother that is taking care of the home, a father bringing home the bacon, doing a collective effort to raise children or a child in a good way is so rare that I think like 20% of people, or maybe 10% of people, still do the traditional way of doing things. And that's why I tell you guys that I don't subscribe to the notion of having kids, because the likelihood of divorce, splitting up, and someone like me ending up having to pay child support is very high. As a matter of fact, the likelihood that someone like me agrees to have a child with someone and then we end up split up after a couple of years is probably 70%. Not because of the men. Men want to take care of things generally if they have a certain thought process. It's typically the women. They succumb to the, let's just say, the natural want to have kids, but not necessarily be a wife or girlfriend. They just want to be a mother. They want to skip being a girlfriend, a wife, mother. They want to skip all that and go right to motherhood and still do them, still do vacations, still do independent woman things. So turkey baster girl got exactly what she wanted. She got a baby, and she got a half sibling with that baby within 4 months. Crazy stuff that goes on out there, guys. Be on the lookout for women that are in baby raby mode, because Turkey Baster Girl ended up somewhere I thought exactly where she would end up if she wanted to have a baby, regardless of the person she was having it with. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.